Good morning. My name is Ashley Bryan, and I'm an associate at Commit. So we've been talking a lot about these indicators, what we're going to measure. But the next important question is, we're going to measure all of these things. How are we going to act to move the needle along these indicators? How are we going to change the status quo in Dallas County? So we're going to walk through an example of what this organizing for action might look like in regards to impacting these 11 indicators. And just for the sake of an example, we're going to zero in on third grade reading. So in Dallas County, only 42% of our third graders currently read at or above grade level. So our next question is, why? What factors are impacting that third grade literacy rate across Dallas County? So we know from research that early vocabulary acquisition deeply impacts early reading skills. We also know that summer learning opportunities impact young and emerging readers. Quality pre-K and other early childhood opportunities impact literacy. Teacher professional development. Are they equipped to teach those basic phonics skills and comprehension skills that young readers must grasp before they can move forward? And then, of course, access to books. Our students need books in their home and opportunities to read them so that they're constantly developing those literacy skills. So if we know all of these factors impact third grade reading, we know that we need to tackle these. If we want to change the big picture of third grade reading, we need to impact these sub-indicators, these contributing indicators, if you will. So that's a lot to bite off. Let's focus on just summer learning. If we want to change the status quo for our third grade readers, let's focus on that summer learning loss. Let's tackle summer learning loss, eradicate it so that our students are not sliding back, are not losing ground between the end of, say, their kindergarten year and the beginning of their first grade year, or in between first and second grade. So if we're zeroing in on summer learning, the next important question is, who needs to come to the table? What different organizations and peoples and other entities across Dallas County need to come together to have a conversation about how we can change that 42%? We might have the school districts, community-based organizations such as our nonprofit providers, our faith-based institutions. We might have the public library system, since they seem a natural place for encouraging and developing young readers. Advocates of literacy, businesses, and maybe even DART, which you'll see why they would come to the table in just a second. So we're going to connect this seemingly disconnected cross-sector coalition of people. We're going to connect them together, and then we're going to connect them to this goal of improving summer learning opportunities for kids. We want to mitigate what happens in the summer slide. So we're bringing them to the table, and we're saying, you all have expertise. Let's put our heads together and come up with a plan to tackle summer learning slide. So something that they might come up with, if they all put their heads together in our hypothetical example, they might come up with a summer tutoring network. We know that students need access to reading growth opportunities across the summer, and so they're going to create a literacy tutoring network so that students can grow over the summer. So the school districts might bring their lists of their highest need kindergarten through second grade readers, those that are really deeply affected by the summer slide and will need support going forward. The public libraries might say, we've got the space and we've got the time, so those young readers can come to our locations to grow over the summer. DART might coordinate the transportation by supporting bus passes or thinking of a way we can get students to the library so that they can read over the summer. Our business community might have a volunteer base that wants to contribute, that wants to get involved and work with young students. Our community-based organizations might help us identify, share, and implement some of the best practices that we know impact our young and emerging readers. And then advocates might launch an awareness campaign to stress the importance of reading over the summer, of coming to the libraries and engaging in this type of network opportunity. So all of these people at the table will now deploy these strategies. And if you notice, these are things that they already do well. These are the core competencies of each of the people and institutions at the table. They're just now operating within a larger framework. They're hitting at this greater end goal of improving literacy for Dallas County. We're focusing our efforts strategically. We're leveraging what we already do well within this more coordinated and cohesive framework. So after they've deployed their summer learning network, after all of these players have come together and worked towards this common goal, they then want to assess their impact. We want to know, how did what we did this summer impact our young and emerging readers? Did we hit the summer slide? Did we get rid of the summer slide? So we're going to look at the data. We're going to see what difference, what change do we see in our students who participated in the network over the course of the summer. If data tells us that this network practice, this opportunity was positive, then we want to adjust it and redeploy it. We want to improve it to make it better and then do it again. Better yet, we want to scale it. We want to hit more kids if possible. If the data tells us that perhaps the practice was not as effective or maybe neutral, it didn't have any dramatic impact on the summer slide, then we still want to look at what we did and maybe adjust and redeploy. Maybe we've got some good ideas, we just need to tweak them. Or maybe we need to explore another strategy or join forces with other organizations doing the same work. In a nutshell, the idea is bringing everyone to the table, getting them to share their ideas, their best practices, and think about how they can leverage what they already do well within the context of a bigger framework, so we're having a deeper and wider impact on our students in Dallas County. So now I'm going to turn it over to Jeff Edmondson, who is Managing Director of the Strive Partnership out of Cincinnati, who's going to talk to you a little bit about his work and what we're seeing nationally.